There has never been a better argument for extra scrutiny on nominees when they're putting forward people with no experience or putting forward judges that can't even get the Bar Association to approve their nomination. Chuck Schumer is unfortunately not the guy to be doing this, but somebody should be vetting these people.
I just want everyone here and in the country to understand what our Republican colleagues just did. For the third time this year, Republicans just resorted to the so-called nuclear option in the Senate, weakening the Senate even further and turning this chamber into a conveyor belt for unqualified Trump nominees. But what Republicans have done is chip away at the Senate even more, to give Donald Trump more power and to rubber stamp whomever he wants, whenever he wants them, no questions asked.
I just can't help but get fired up every time I hear that lion speak. Anyway, that's Chuck Schumer, and he's not wrong in what he's saying. It is the Senate once again just saying, hey, all that stuff about like procedure and tradition and the rights of the minority. Yeah, we're in charge now, so screw all that stuff. We're done. We want to use our power, and that's what they're doing. They did trigger a version of the nuclear option yet again, allowing them to speed up the confirmation of Donald Trump's nominees. And so normally you need 60 of 100 senators to agree to vote to move toward passing legislation. By using this nuclear option, the majority party can just use majority rule to change the rules. In this particular case, the vote was 53 to 45 to establish a new rule that allows the Senate to confirm a big block of nominees rather than process each one individually. Republicans say they'll allow their own senators to object to individual nominees in any given block, but the rule will strip away the power of the minority party to do the same thing, because this is not a democracy. This is nothing. This is a game. I mean, they're barely a Senate. They're there as long as Donald Trump doesn't tweet about them or whatever. We're a failed state, just understand that. I mean, I guess one silver lining is that theoretically now, if the Democrats get back in charge, more power for them if they want to do this. But I just want to point out that, like, yes, if you're in charge and the minority party is blocking everything, that's really annoying. I want everyone to bear in mind that the nominees this year have been the least qualified. There were people under Bush that didn't seem qualified. We have Fox News hosts filling incredibly sensitive roles. We have podcasters and grifters, insane people, 22-year-old ex-gardeners in charge of counter-terrorism security. There has never been a better argument for extra scrutiny on nominees when they're putting forward people with no experience or putting forward judges that can't even get the Bar Association to approve their nomination. Chuck Schumer is unfortunately not the guy to be doing this, but somebody should be vetting these people. Jordan, I'll go to you first. What do you think about this change?
This just is another instance of Democratic weakness. And we just watched as they threw up their hands, said, oh, the rules say we can't do this. We can't eliminate the filibuster. We can't change the rules to pass through popular legislation. Meanwhile, we at home, us all watching it, knew Republicans, if they were in the same circumstance, would. And this is what they're doing. And this is why people gravitate towards the right, because you might not like everything that they do, but you can clearly see they will fight for something and they will do whatever they can to enact their agenda. And then we're just watching as Schumer complains about the parliamentarian or the Senate filibuster rules. They'll just change it. If it gets in their way, they'll change it. They ignored the parliamentarian on Trump's budget bill. They ignored the CBO and the readings. They didn't care. Why are we letting these constraints get in the way of popular policy, if not that the Democrats in power and in leadership specifically don't actually want to do these things? They're beholden to corporate donors and special interests. Those donors and those voices don't want these things to pass because it affects their bottom line. And we pay. We deal with the consequences, not them. They're fine. It's absolutely aggravating, John.
I mean, they're institutionalists, and as a result, the Democrats do find themselves, as Jordan says, in this place where they're complaining about Manchin and Sinema, when they were the key votes. We've got to try to somehow, romance them so they can. But the reality is that when the GOP gets in, you see the ruthlessness with which they pursue everything. There is a brutality to it. We have the ends justify the means, and you begin to see it, and it's on full display. But as John has pointed out, the incompetence is the cornerstone of this administration. I mean, it's just, it's unparalleled in my lifetime, the kind of incompetence we're seeing at the highest levels. And so, of course, you want to get them rubber stamped all at once, because you don't want any real examination of who these people are or what incompetence they are. So when this situation meets the kind of brutality of the GOP, then it does just turn into a conveyor belt of utter horror, and that's what's going on right now in the Senate.
Yeah, and it's all predictable. I mean, government always suffers in terms of capability and desire to do anything when Republicans are in charge. This is just the worst version that we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime. And from their point of view, it largely doesn't matter if the government can accomplish literally anything. The people that they're there to represent are the ones who have already won. They just want the government to stay out of their way, to not tax them, to not regulate them. But while it's not an issue for them, it is an issue for regular people. Regular people need a government that actually functions. And so as things fall apart, we're already seeing that, and it's only gonna get worse. There has to eventually be a political reckoning that'll come, because even their voters are not gonna be able to deny that Donald Trump can keep saying $2 gas all he wants. It's not. He can keep saying that prices are down. Food prices, other prices are up. We just did a segment on TDR earlier today about that. You can lie to them over and over. You can spit in their face over and over, but eventually, I think their bank account is gonna tell them the truth. And so they really seem to be bargaining on the right that they can just gerrymander and martial law their way out of the democratic consequences of their constant willful failures. And it's gonna be an exciting year to find out if that bargain actually comes
Well, don't undersell it, John. That speaks to the brutality. I mean, that really is part of the plan. It's like, hey, if we can't win on the facts, then we're just going to, we'll change the rules in effect. And I really see that as a legitimate scenario and strategy that they're gonna pursue. When I say legitimate, I mean it's legitimate from the standpoint of the fact that I think we're going to see it. It's obviously full of illegitimacy.
Democratic voters, the base right now wants to see fight. You're seeing high levels of energy at these tours, like the Fight the Oligarchy tour. You see people, anything they can latch on to. You're seeing pretty high levels of support for Newsom's effort to temporarily throw out the independent redistricting in California to fight back against Texas. But when you look in Congress and you see Jeffries and Schumer just kind of twiddling their thumbs and doing, wagging their finger, it doesn't inspire confidence. So I keep coming back to, why are these people still in their positions? There are plenty of fighters in the party elected in Congress who could lead in this moment. Neither of them seem especially well equipped to be the leaders that we need right now.
Quickly, just on that point, John, I wanted to say Jordan is so right about this. I look to the governors. I mean, you look at a Pritzker, Shapiro, Newsom. These are all standouts for pushing back, but you don't really see much of it on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, it is maddening to me that Schumer he's just gonna be in charge for this entire period, I guess. They're just not gonna challenge it. It's insane.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.